Good morning. Today we're going to do a quick check-in on XRP, some Bitcoin liquidation, and the Sigma coin. So, all right, we had our expectations of continuation occurring with the potential pullback after we hit the $2.62. So far, we actually did not do that behavior, which is great. Much better just to continue grinding out of here. In addition to that, we have now exceeded over here with the price action, the high from this region over here. And we're now just kind of working through a little bit of a chop on top of that prior high of this local zone that we've been hitting here. So primarily, initially, I was yesterday thinking of just, of exiting at this point, but both BitTrue and Coinbase were down for maintenance at the same exact time when that smackdown should have occurred, which was kind of interesting. And then they both came up after the window had closed and we continued marching higher. So just an interesting observation of where that would have been, and it just wasn't open to do anything. So now we're just kind of working through this grind and this chop right here on top of this region of the 786. Remember, the key area we want to mainly clear is $2.71. That is the big, what are we going to do? If we can blast through that, start closing above this, that's the key. And so for now, the strategy is just to continue to march the stop loss higher behind this, not too close, because we don't want to get caught and then it continues higher. So as of right now, my stop is down in this region here. And I'm going to be moving it probably up to there this morning, maybe this one, but probably like somewhere in this region, maybe in this chop kind of portion here. So, but yeah, I'll probably just put it right there. But anyway, the point being is this gives enough of a window for an ABC to come in, but not sweep you. So you want to be far enough away that if it does do an ABC correction in here and maybe closes that gap or this gap, you're not close enough to do it. So I'm currently down here. I'll move it up to there, and we'll just continue marching and chasing the price action higher. So now going to the past fractal that we're kind of modeling this after. As soon as we did break out and get to the new prior high and we exceeded this, notice how we chopped on top of this range before the next ascent up the mountain. So right now that green line is that same area and we're chopping right on top of it, getting ready to go higher. And we should hopefully go very, very aggressively to the upside. And then consolidate on top of the range itself, the next move up, and then we'll get up all the way out to the range itself and then consolidation before it messes with everybody over here. So that's basically what we're looking for, and Bitcoin has been very cooperative. So we had our 5-wave move off the low, our ABC completion, the minor 5 waves with another ABC, and now this is the wave 3, and you could just see we are moving into parabolic Bitcoin here, where we now actually can see a price action moving to the side for a wave 2, and then we're already in a wave 3 up here as this thing is getting ready to go into its third. So this is wonderful, very, very bullish, and easily able to start reclaiming and clearing these other areas, and maybe even higher up, and really just leave everybody behind who thought that this was a bear market. And they'll call it the dead cat bounce. They'll express extreme caution here, which we should have. But the question is this going to continue? And as we continue and move into new highs, which the Russell, S&P, and NASDAQ, Russell's almost done it. S&P and NASDAQ and Dow have all broken into new all-time highs Friday. I don't expect us to be waiting too long for Bitcoin and everything else to do the same. So now back to XRP liquidation. Here's our 48-hour. This was the concern of a backtest. Now the cool part is overnight we've had a good buildup of liquidity back up into our 271 region. So I expect we'll be testing that 271 today in this next day or so. But this looks like there's that good potential pullback. That's what we were monitoring. So we're not expecting it to happen. We're just open to it happening with the stop losses, with taking profit and then re-grabbing lower. But the real takeaway is to look at XRP like this on the 3-month. So as we look at XRP on the 3-month and this loads, the real answer is this. There's all your liquidity. So very, very, very little on the 3-month here, and then a ton to the upside. And this is how we're going to get back up into these regions, is that counter trade as they keep stacking on top of it. We grind here, but as soon as we get to 320, which is right where that area of demand is, that's where we start building support and everything else through here. So definitely going to be pretty impressive to watch this move in and out of this region. So, and finally with that, the question is, will Sigma also give you any type of entry? So as Sigma is loading here, this gap that I put in purple here that we've been expecting just isn't being given. Every time we come down, it just grinds higher and grinds higher, and we're doing it in a fairly corrective way, but this is with continual higher lows though, right? So this could be a corrective ABC, give us the ability for one more smackdown and out of here, but it also may not give us that entry at all, and it may just continue grinding, and that's all you get. So, really what you're talking about is if you are DCing into a position, or you are looking at getting more Sigma, get some here, and then you're just talking about a 21% decrease in your positioning size. If you do get some, that you should just hopefully have more dry powder to grab if you're so fortunate. Otherwise, if it starts breaking, you just chase. So there's your quick view of Sigma. But yeah, very bullish. And when we bounce over to the 3-day, we already know that the Stoch is and RSI are just looking incredibly parabolic as we've reclaimed this massive channel of this with a deviation to the outside, and now we're going to start doing our parabolic moves upward as the project continues with lots of great upside potential. So all right, so hopefully that's helpful this morning on what we're watching, but just marching the stops up far enough away and then looking for any type of breakdown structure on XRP. But the idea being is we'll just consolidate here and then continue on, and that will be very nice to just move that stop up yet again to that higher level. And then zoomed in view, that would be this consolidation area right here before the next advance. And then this wick may not have happened simply because no Coinbase was around. And then finally, we've got Bitcoin cooperating, giving us the next leg. Very, very obviously an impulsive straight up move action that's going to be well received. So, and finally, let's get back up here. That'd be great. So, all right, thanks for watching, and we'll check in tomorrow.